two processes are there, right? So here in the previous problem there is only one process. That means one change of state from one point to another point. See, look here. You know this solid to liquid to vapor or gaseous state. How it changes? Right? Solid becomes liquid, liquid becomes gas. And there are two types of heat transfers are involved here. Sensible heat and latent. Suppose if you take an example of ice, water, right? And then vapor, water vapor. So first ice should melt. So during the melting process, the temperature of ice remain constant wherever it is, right? Suppose if the melting point is 0 degrees Celsius, then ice at 0 degrees centigrade becomes water at 0 degrees centigrade only by addition of heat. So that heat is called latent heat, right? Now assume it has become water at 0. Now water at 0, if heat is added, the temperature of it rises continuously. 0, 1, 2, 3 till it reaches its boiling point. Once it reaches its boiling point, then water converts itself into vapor. So during that conversion process, will the temperature change or remain the same? Will it change or remain the same? Huh? It remains the same. See, heat transfer can result in either change in temperature or change in phase at any given point of time. Both at a time are not possible. When the phase is constant, temperature changes. When the temperature is constant, phase changes. That's the process. Right? You all would have studied this in your school, physics and chemistry, physical sciences. Material behavior, solid, liquid, and vapor. So you just need to apply that concept here. What is given? Let us assume temperature is on y-axis and entropy is on x-axis. See, remember the equation all the time. Change in entropy is dq by t, or this is in differential form. In integral form, this is delta S is equal to integral dq by t, right? So now, one direct correlation that is there between these two terms, heat transfer and entropy change, is with the addition of heat, entropy increases. With its removal, entropy decreases, right? So therefore, heat addition or removal results in increase or decrease in entropy. So that is directly, there in the equation. You can read it from the equation. The meaning can be read from the given equation. Now what is said here, originally the water is, where is it? Initial temperature of water is 0 degrees centigrade. Originally, let us say this is state point 1, where 1 is water at 0 degrees centigrade. Right? This is your initial position. Now you have added heat to it. When heat is added, temperature is increasing, as well as when temperature increases, entropy also increases. Both are increasing. So this is the path that will be taken by it. Now it stops here at state point 2. So what is 2? Now at 2, till water is in liquid form, but its temperature has become 164.97. Why did we stop here? Now it reached its boiling point, right? So therefore, once it reaches here, further heat results in phase change. because it reached boiling point, now the droplet of liquid converts itself into vapor, and that process continues until the water changes itself into vapor completely, till the last drop. So during this process what happens? Temperature remains constant, but still you are adding the heat. When the heat is added, entropy should increase while the temperature is constant. So temperature remains constant and entropy increases because heat transfer is now this is. Now what is 3? State point 3. This is liquid water, water in liquid form, water in liquid form. Now water in vapor form, right? Vapor at 164.97 degrees Celsius. Right? Now there are two processes. Process 1 to 2, process 2 to 3. Process 1 to 2 is sensible heat. Process 2 to 3 is latent heat. So if you want to find out the entropy change during this entire process, which is the sum of two different processes, you need to find entropy change for this process and for this process separately. Right? Now I hope with this as input, you should try to solve this problem. Project is equal to change in entropy delta S during 1 to 2 plus delta S during 2 to 3. In another form you can write this as S2 minus S1 plus S3 minus S2. So you find it separately, this separately, add them up, we will get the answer. Do it now. I will solve this and going back home, at least you try to solve 2 or 3 problems based on these models. Then you will get some confidence. Right? Otherwise, every time new problem comes, it appears to be new. So please don't stop here. So now, again go back, right? Delta S is integral dq by t. See, delta S is change in entropy between any two states. Now, the given states are 1 and 2. The given states are 1 and 2. So therefore, integral dq plus any entropy change is integral dq by t. There is no doubt about it. It is no fundamental concept. Right? It's a default equation. Now this is changing from 2 to 3. So the limits to the integration are 2 and 3. Now here dq by t, is it variable or constant? From point 1 to point 2. From point 1 to point 2. Temperature is changing, right? So therefore, you need to make use of this basic equation to develop it into an expandable equation where you get it in terms of properties at this state as well as this state. That is what we did. We derived equation, 2 equations for change in entropy based on this. Right? So which one shall we take? Which of those 2 shall we take here? See, temperature at this state and this state is common in both the equations, right? In one equation there are pressure terms and in another equation there are volume terms. So which one shall we go? Which one? Both you can take, there is no doubt. Both are correct. I am repeating that those equations are independent of the path, independent of the process. But for our convenience, which equation will you take? That in terms of volume or that in terms of pressure? Pressure. Why? One reason, pressure is constant. It's given. That means P1 is equal to P2. So therefore that log of P2 by P1 term will become 0. So what is left with? MCP log of T2 by T1. And having said that, even if you use the first equation, the problem of V2 and V1, finding V2 and V1 does not arise. Again, because water being an incompressible liquid, its volume is not changing. So V1 is equal to V2. So in this case, you are getting two different equations, right? If you use the equation that which contains volume, it is mCV T2 by T1. If you take the other equation, it is coming mCP log of T2 by T1. They are two different equations, right? Now which one you should take? Come on guys. Huh? Come on, think. One equation is mCV log T2 by T1. Another equation is mCP log T2 by T1. Come on, that person will stand up.
For water CP and CV also we can take any of.
For water, CP and CV are no different, right? CP is equal to CV is equal to C. So both are the same, right? So therefore, what is the equation now? You are getting here. There is no CP, there is no CV. Being water, you just simply write C log of T2 by T1. This is the first term. Plus, here for this process 2 to 3, temperature, is it variable or fixed? Is it constant or variable? So the equations that we developed are for this. Temperature is changing, right? Here is the temperature changing? No. When temperature is not changing, this need not be inside the integration. It's a constant. It becomes 1 by T into integral 2 to 3 dq. So this part will remain the same, plus this part 1 by T into integral dq is q between 2 and 3. Can I write it as q3 minus q2? Have you ever seen earlier writing W2 minus W1 or W3 minus W1, Q3 minus Q2? Did we ever do that? We can't do it because it's a path function. It's inexact differential. You don't have Q at a particular point. You have the heat transfer during a process, during given change between the two states. So now, what is the heat transfer when the system is changing from 2 to 3? So now the equation, the consolidated equation becomes mc log of T2 by T1 plus Q2 to 3 divided by temperature. This temperature is what? Where T is equal, this is either T2 or T3. Both are constant. So, given that T1 is, what is the value? 0 plus 273 Kelvin. T2 is 164.97 plus 273 is what? 437.97 Kelvin. This is equal to T3, right? Now you know every term. And how about Q23? Q23 is given directly. Latent heat supplied for changing its phase from liquid to vapor. That is called latent heat of vaporization. So Q223 is directly given 2066.3. And you know every term in this equation. Simply substitute, you will get the value. 697 kilojoules per. Why are you getting kg in the denominator? Yes, m is not known. Delta S total. In the next step, you should write divided by m. M you are taking out. So here also, this is given per unit mass. So Q2 to 3 is equal See why mass must be common in both the terms. Then only you can do that. Listen here. What is Q223? 1 second. Q223 is mass of the water that is undergoing the phase change into latent heat of vaporization. What is given in the problem is not Q23. What is given is L, right? So therefore MC, this becomes M into L by T. In both these terms there is M as common factor, and hence we are taking that M to the left hand side on the denominator, right? So delta S by M, delta S unit is kilojoules per Kelvin or joule per Kelvin, whichever energy unit you take. What is the unit of entropy here? It's coming from here. Heat transfer by temperature. Heat transfer is joule or kilojoule or megajoule, whichever you take here, divided by Kelvin. Now if I take delta S by M per unit mass, then this becomes J by K divided by mass is kg. So this becomes joule per kg Kelvin.